London versus Paris. It's a classic rivalry, right? For centuries, these two absolute titans of Europe have been going head-to-head in everything from art to food. But when it comes to your next trip, which one should you choose? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down to help you decide. And really, these two pictures say it all, don't they? On one side, you've got the elegant, artistic vibe of the Eiffel Tower, and on the other, the historic, powerhouse presence of Big Ben. These aren't just buildings, they really capture the totally different experiences these two cities offer. So, which city is calling your name? Answering that question is exactly what we're here to do. We're going to look at everything from the feel of the streets to the cost of your morning coffee. So by the end of this, you'll know exactly which city is your perfect match. First up, let's get down to the basics. A tale of two cities. We're going to look at the hard data, because the numbers here tell a really surprising story about how different these places fundamentally are. Okay, right off the bat, you can see a massive difference. London is this sprawling giant. It's more than 14 times the physical size of Paris. But look closer at the population density. That is where the real story is. It completely changes the energy of each city. Get this, over 20,000 people are packed into every single square kilometer in Paris. That number explains so much about why Paris feels so alive and so walkable. Everything, the cafes, the museums, the shops, it's all woven together so tightly, creating this incredible, bustling energy that's just a world away from the more spread out feel of London. So we know they're physically different, but how does that translate into daily life? That brings us to Section 2. Culture and customs. These are the little things, the unwritten rules of society that can really make or break your trip. Here is a perfect example of what I mean. In England, a firm handshake is pretty much the standard, professional way to say hello. But in France, you'll see friends and even people who've just met greeting each other with a bise, a little kiss on the cheek. It's a small detail, but it gives you a window into a much more intimate social custom. And listen up, because this is a huge tip for anyone thinking about Paris. Don't worry if your French isn't perfect, or even if it's, a little rusty. The effort is what really counts. A simple bonjour or merci shows you respect the culture. Parisians are, as our source says, pretty protective of their language, and they really do appreciate it when you try. All right, let's get to the fun stuff in Section 3, cuisine, culture, and competition. I'm talking about what you're actually going to do, what you're going to eat, and what you're going to see. Let's dive in. When it comes to just pure variety, London is an absolute beast. 240 museums, hundreds of libraries, and if you're a soccer fan, it's a dream come true. It's the kind of city where you could explore for months and honestly never see it all. Paris, on the other hand, is all about quality and those iconic pinch-me moments. It's a city for food lovers, with restaurants that consistently get top Michelin star ratings. It's the home of cafe culture, where just sitting with an espresso is an event. And then, of course, you've got the heavy hitters, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower. And while it's only got one major football club, PSG is a giant in its own right. So, let's talk food for a second. London's greatest strength is its incredible diversity. It's like a global food court with an amazing, vibrant scene where you can get world-class curries, classic fish and chips, and pretty much everything in between. Paris, though, focuses on perfecting its own traditions. The quality of a simple baguette or a fresh pastry there is just next level. Okay, so you're probably feeling inspired, but what about the practical stuff? That's what Section 4 is all about, your traveler's checklist. We're talking cost, transportation, all the essential info you need before you even think about booking a ticket. So let's talk money, because both cities have a reputation for being pretty pricey. But here's where your money goes. In London, day-to-day things like groceries and just general shopping will hit your wallet harder. But in Paris, getting around on public transport can actually be more expensive. So if you're on a tight budget, Paris might just be the more pocket-friendly choice, depending on how you spend. This right here really shows London's role as a massive global hub. With 6 international airports compared to Paris's 3, it's not just better connected. It also means more flight options and more competition between airlines, which, let's be honest, can be fantastic news for finding a good deal. Now, once you're there, getting around is everything. And this is interesting. Paris actually has more subway stations, all packed into that smaller area. But London's overall network is just way more extensive, with double the bus and train lines reaching out across the sprawling city. The key takeaway here is that both have fantastic transport systems. They're just built differently. So when should you go? While for London, our sources suggest autumn. Think crisp air, beautiful colors in the parks, and a ton of events going on. But for Paris, it is all about the summer. June and August are perfect for those long, golden evenings, the kind that are just made for a picnic by the Seine. Okay, we've looked at the stats, the culture, the costs. It all comes down to this, our final section, the final verdict. It's time to see if there's a clear winner in this epic showdown between two incredible cities. After everything we've looked at, which city takes the crown? Is it the sprawling, diverse, multicultural hub of London, or the compact, elegant, and romantic capital of Paris? And you know what? In the end, there isn't one winner. The conclusion is that the right choice is totally personal. It all comes down to what you're looking for and what you really value in a trip. Are you after endless variety and that global buzz? Or are you looking for classic romance, culinary perfection, and artistic beauty? The choice, ultimately, is yours.